guys, so I have to work this weekend and I had papers due and I had a test, which means I don't have a lot of time to film something. So there's been a lot of new music out this week, including some that I've just purchased, which you'll see in a minute. So I decided it would be a good time to show you my CD collection because I have a lot of CDs and I'm a huge music person. You guys know I save stuff on my Spotify all the time. So I thought I'd let you know some of the physical CDs that I have, and there is a lot. There's a huge stack next to me, but I'll try to go through them as quickly as I possibly can. Before I get into all that though, obviously there are some CDs that I own on iTunes that I don't own physically, so I thought I'd just go through those. I do have Plus, and I have Multiply by Ed Sheeran. I have 4 by One Direction, some of the Frozen soundtrack, some of the Tangled soundtrack, some of the Princess and the Frog soundtrack. I have Get Weird by Little Mix. I have the How to Train Your Dragon 1 soundtrack on iTunes. I have Into the Woods. I have Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams and This Is War by 30 Seconds to Mars on iTunes. I have the Pitch Perfect soundtrack. Sit Still Look Pretty by Adaya. That's the latest iTunes addition to my library. Definitely go check that out. Storyline by Hunter Hayes. I'm going to see Hunter Hayes in concert. I'm so excited. It's going to be so great. Whatever by Hot Shell Ray. If you're really into like pop punk, this is your thing. You should definitely check it out. I have Five Sauce's debut album, so that's kind of it for my iTunes library. As far as Spotify goes, some albums that I'm interested in at the moment. Dirty Work, All Time Low, great album. As well as the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 soundtrack. That's also very good. Atlantis is very good. And the one that I'm listening to right now is In Our Bones by Against the Current. I kind of want to buy the physical CD for this because I love it so much. Because as we all know, I should have gone through my emo phase 10 years ago, but I'm going through it now. So anyways, so let's get on to the physical CDs. So to start, I'm going to show you some of the albums that I got before I really got anything iTunes related. Read before my mom got an iTunes account and let me buy stuff on it. But first up we have the Annie original soundtrack. I was in this musical when I was 10 and I actually own the film version of this on VHS. This is the 1998 version of Annie and please watch it / listen to this soundtrack. It is amazing. Alicia Morton is great as Annie and it has so many Broadway legends in it. It has Alan Cumming, Victor Garber, Audra McDonald, Kristen Chenoweth. And while we're on the subject of Broadway musicals, Fiddler on the Roof, I'm just listening to this again. Great homeward music. It's amazing film adaptation as well. And then we have my Anne Hathaway phase. I have Princess Diaries 2 and Ella Enchanted soundtracks. Both are great. Both feature Anne Hathaway singing. I know there's Anne Hathaway haters, but I love Anne Hathaway. Let her be. This is a CD that I burned of Disney Mania 5. Apparently I was really into that. Next we have some of the mixed CDs that I made way back in the day. Now 33 and 34, again Disney Mania 5 and Hannah Montana. Helen's Music, Disc 1 and Disc 2, a lot of this is Disney Channel music. When I was 12, 13, definitely watched a lot of Disney Channel. Hannah Montana, Jonas Brothers, High School Musical, that's all there. Helen's Mix, March 2010. Helen's Mix, Xmas 2009. And I burned the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. I have that soundtrack. Side note, you should also listen to the first soundtrack, it's great. And then Helen's Dance Music, my middle school dances, where I went to a really small school, so we got to put in our own requests. On to my official albums. So first up, you guys all knew this was coming. I have 4 yearbook editions of One Direction CDs. The only one I don't have a physical copy of is 4. I do have Up All Night, Take Me Home, Midnight Memories, which I think is objectively their best one, and Made in the AM, which is more of a farewell album. I love all of them. I love seeing all the behind the scenes content. It's fantastic. And like I said, I do have 4 on my phone. Next up, we have the Little Mix CDs. So I have DNA, I have Salute, and I have Glory Days, and I also have, again, Get Weird on my phone. If I have to pick a favorite, I actually think Glory Days right now is my favorite because it's their most recent one, but I love the songs on Salute. So get all of these, support them. They're finally blowing up in the States, and watch them on the Kids' Choice Awards on March 11th. Please. These next CDs will pretty much progress in chronological order from when I got them. So first up we have Ollie Murs, Right Place, Right Time. This is the American version of it, which is basically kind of a greatest hits album. It has Army of Two, it has Heart Skips a Beat, it has Troublemaker, which was his big single in the States, and it also has Dear Darlin', which is one of my favorite songs of his. I have Demi by Demi Lovato. This is the album that she was touring with when I saw her live. So it has Heart Attack, it has Made in the USA, it has Neon Lights, it has Really Don't Care, which is great, and Cheryl Lloyd was opening for her when I saw her, so they got to duet on that, and that was wonderful. The encore edition of Hunter Hayes. I also have Storyline again. I have the standard version of In the Lonely Hour by Sam Smith. I got this in the grocery store with my mom. Leave Your Lover is a good one. Like I Can is also very good, and Not in That Way. He makes me cry. He needs to put out new music. I know he made an Oscar snafu last year, but he needs to put out new music. Live Sauce, my brother got me for Christmas one year. And I have seen Five Sauce live. I saw them when they opened for One Direction, and they were actually really good. I love their cover of American Idiot, Judge Me. I love Good Girls. And again, I have the iTunes version of their debut album. And now we get to the part where I was really going through my emo phase. I have American Beauty, American Psycho by Fall Out Boy. I got this on sale at FYE. I love this album. It's so good. I love Irresistible, I love Centuries, Uma Thurman is great, 4th of July is great, and Twin Skeletons is also a good one. And it has Immortals on here, but not the version from Big Hero 6, which I like just a teeny bit. We the Kings, Smile Kid. I mentioned this in my favorite albums video about a year ago for Venom. Still very much in love with this album. This is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I love the movie Return to Neverland. This is, again, guilty pleasure. I don't know, the movie itself is kind of meh, but the soundtrack I thought is really good. I love I'll Try by Jonathan Brooke, is actually a really good song. I have the British version of How to Train Your Dragon 2, which has Where No One Goes, obviously. And the only difference between this version and the American version is it has Into a Fantasy by Alexander Rybak, who is the Norwegian voice of Hiccup. Fun fact, if you saw my video recap of my time in England, then you'll recognize that song, because that's the one I used. I thought it'd be really special to use a song that's only available in Europe for the time that I spent in Europe, and yes, and also you should check out Alexander Rybak's music, because he's amazing. And I got the Hamilton soundtrack, both discs of it, thank you. Yeah, I love the Hamilton soundtrack. I am Hamilton trash. But it really is that good. I know everyone keeps hyping it, but it really is that good. And while we're on the subject of Hamilton, we have the Hamilton mixtape, which I got for Christmas this past year. I don't like it as much as the cast album because the original versions are so iconic, but there are some standout tracks that I love. The My Shot Rise Up remix is great. Wrote My Way Out is amazing. I love the version of Satisfied. I love It's Quiet Uptown with Kelly Clarkson. I'm not a fan of You'll Be Back that Jimmy Fallon did. And we have La La Land, and I'm so happy it won the Oscar for Best Music. And again, go see Dear Evan Hansen, because Pasek and Paul wrote that too, and it's just a great moment for musical theater at the Oscars. Obviously, I've covered City of Stars, I've covered Audition, The Fools Who Dream, some other standout tracks, well, all of them really. This is a good mix of the songs and the score from the movie, because the dance numbers are a huge big part of it too. I love Another Day of Sun, Someone in the Crowd is great, and A Lovely Night especially. And finally, the latest addition to my album collection. You guys probably knew this was coming considering what came out yesterday, but working in a bookstore has its perks, gentlemen and ladies. I have Ed Sheeran's new album, Divide. I've listened to it a couple times through already. Obviously, Shape of You and Castle on the Hill are some bangers. I love Perfect. I love Galway Girl. Eraser is also a very good one. But this whole album is fantastic. It's great. Go listen to it if you haven't yet. It is on Spotify. I'll put that on my page so you can listen to it. It's so good, and I do have the deluxe version. That's pretty much my album collection. If there's any albums that you think I should check out, please. As always, you can subscribe here on my main channel for new videos every single Sunday. You can subscribe to my second channel for more informal content. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Tumblr to know what I'm getting up to when I'm not filming, and also what music I'm obsessed with at the moment. Certainly the CDs don't cover all the singles and tracks I own. which is great. My iTunes library encompasses, I think, about 800 songs now. There's a lot. You can check out DDP, etc. I promise I'll have my animated features write-up about the Oscars soon. You can watch my reaction to the Oscars on my second channel because that was very interesting, and I filmed it about an hour after it got done, so it was like 1 in the morning and I was really beat. So that's fun. Thanks for watching, and I love you all very much. Remember to keep living awesome lives, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.